Welcome to the 1998 review of the season of tractor pulling Team Larsen, better known to over 25 million Eurosport viewers and European pulling fans as the Fox team. Their season began in January at the Dutch town of Zwolle at the Europool, and it was here that team manager Team Larsen announced plans for their most ambitious season ever.
We have had the plan here for a couple of years now that we would like to run with two tractors here in '98. So what we have been doing until now, from October, we are building on a new trailer where we got room for two tractors. And the plan is that we should be done with two tractors and this new trailer here for the first pull in the last April. The new tractor will not be so much different than what we always knew now or have seen here, but it'll be painted different, and it'll be sponsored by Optima batteries, so it'll probably have another color and the name like the Ultimative Fox or something like that. How if we can end up in between, for example, the first. We hope to be in between the first top 5 with two tractors, but that's a little dream. The sponsors is actually what make it go, because otherwise it would be much too expensive for us privately to run it as we do. So it's very important to have such good sponsors as we have here.
The first event in the afternoon session was the 4.4-ton modifieds, and it was not quite the start that they'd hoped for. Fleming Smed shutting down to avoid going out of bounds in the pull-off, 33.27, giving him 5th place overall.
There was a hole in the track, so we lost the traction on one wheel. So it was spinning much faster than the other one, so I couldn't brake correct it into the track again.
They have a small computer built into the rear of the tractor under the driver's seat that records various kinds of technical data from each run. Well, after carefully analysing the printout, they decided to make a few changes to the setup for the tractor in the second session in the evening, where they were running in the lighter 3.4-ton class with 4 engines. And it certainly paid dividends. This time, it was straight down the middle with plenty of power and a full pull in the process, which the enthusiastic spectators enjoyed. There was only one real threat, and that came from the Dutch tractor Thunderbird. Powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Gnome turbines, Kees Doornbos was over 6 meters down to the Dane, which meant the season's first victory for Fox and driver Fleming Smed, with Ivan from Germany 3rd. 2 months later, Fox was again in Holland, this time at the European Superpool at the Ahoy Stadium in Rotterdam. 7,000 spectators saw Brian Armistead and Desperate Dan from Blackpool in England set the pace in the 3.4-ton class. Their distance, 50.32. The large contingent of Danish fans who'd made their way to Rotterdam did what they could in the way of verbal encouragement to help the Fox team. And it was very, very close indeed. But the European champion won by just under half a metre, with Fleming again on the rostrum, but this time in 2nd place. This time they had to add an extra Chevy for the evening's heavier 4.4-ton class, where the competition was tougher than ever. Q8 Team Popeye had set a tough distance which Desperate Dan was unable to beat, and this time Fox had to settle for 3rd place. But 2 rostrum finishes in the largest indoor event in Europe was a good harvest for the Danes. Nearly 3 months later, they were at Bernay in France for the first of 6 rounds of the major summer tournament, the Euro Cup. The first session was under floodlights, and as a warm-up, Fox took part in the 3.4-ton challenge with, for the first time, 2 tractors. The first to run was Fox Jr., the name given to their new tractor. It was virtually identical to Fox with the same colours but without a roll cage. This time on a very poor track, Fox Jr. recorded just over 62 metres, which was not good enough for a top 3 finish. All the tractors found it difficult to get off the line, and the high revs was hard on the expensive back tyres. with Fox burning rubber at the end as well. And as you can see, Fleming was also well short of a place in the top three. Day two, and it was time for the Euro Cup proper, which is run at the 4.4-ton weight, and which Fox team has an excellent record, winning it in 1993 and 1994, and second in 96 and 97. In the pull-off, Fox edged past the German tractor Challenger, recording a distance of 87.41. But on this occasion, it was not enough, and the Danes were passed by the double Griffin combination of the 1995 Euro Cup winner Green Spirit 4 with Peter Direct. He won the event with Popeye second and Fox third. Round two was at Sottrum, close to Bremen in Germany. Fox Jr. was still running with 4 engines in this heavier class. And although Fleming had a good run qualifying for the final, Fox Jr. could only finish in 4th place in the final. Every team are always looking for ways of finding extra horsepower, and the Danes were no exception. However, when they added the extra power to their main tractor Fox, they ran into unexpected problems. When they reached a certain speed, Fleming was unable to brake correct, which is a tractor's main way of steering. Press the brake on the left wheel and you turn left, press right and you go right. But at Sottrum, Fleming was unable to hold Fox on the track, and this was the first run of Fox, straight out of bounds. And exactly the same thing happened on the second qualifying run. A double disqualification, and that was very rare indeed for the Fox team. Would things be better when they pulled at Hörby in Sweden for round 3? They had tried to examine what the problem was, but the changes they made did not cure the problem. On this occasion, Fleming shutting down to avoid being disqualified. And when things are not going your way, there's very little you can do about it. On a very heavy track, Fox Jr. also ran into problems of a different sort. Watch the fuel line to the front left Chevy. Breaking loose and then doing the hula dance. Looking even more spectacular in slow motion. So no points in Hörby, and it was back to Holland for round 4 at Wallaby Flevo, where the sun was setting by the time the 4.4 modifieds came to pull. Desperate Dan was making his 3rd and final appearance in this year's Euro Cup and was determined to record his first victory. And when he pulled over 96 metres, it looked like he might achieve his goal.
And we are continuing changing things on the tractors. Weekend after weekend, we are changing small things, and we are definitely going in the right direction now. So I'm looking forward to a straight pull someday.
Yes, 2 bad rounds after an encouraging start, and there weren't many of the spectators who gave Fox much of a chance. But on this occasion, Fleming kept the hammer down and did enough to beat Desperate Dan by over 4 metres to record Fox's first Euro Cup win of the season. And that showed Torben that Fox was on the run again. Much straighter, even if he did drift left at the end of the pull. It was a great feeling for Fleming to be back on top again. Round 5 was on home ground at Herning, so naturally the whole team wanted to put on a good show. They rate Fox as the strongest tractor, but on this occasion it was Fox Jr. who turned in the best performance. And that was good enough for 3rd place. The new trailer that they'd built in the winter to transport their 2 tractors had the added advantage that family and friends could use it as their own personal grandstand. They saw that on this occasion it was Q8 team Popeye who recorded their second win of the season to share the Euro Cup lead with 1 round remaining. Unfortunately, Fox, who was third place in the points table, had a technical problem.
This motor here, the first one on the left side here, there's no oil pressure on that motor. We got 1,500 horsepower hidden there. We cannot use them for nothing. We don't know, we think it's a little shaft inside the motor that is broken and no connection to the oil pump. We cannot run that motor, and that's Fox, as you know, is the strongest tractor we got. It would have been nice to try to compete these two guys.
Always expect the unexpected in motorsport. But on this occasion, the loss of 1,500 horsepower unbalanced the tractor, and they were thankful to finish fourth. But Fleming still ended on the winner's rostrum thanks to Fox Jr.'s third place. And so we return to France, to Windenhof in southern Alsace for the final round of the Euro Cup. Fox was 99% certain of finishing third, and that meant automatic qualification to the '99 Euro Cup, with all travelling expenses paid. In the final pull-off, Fleming removed the 1% uncertainty with possibly his best pull of the season. Straight down the middle, and as they were operating a floating finish up to 110 metres, he recorded 106.47 metres. And that really got the French crowd talking. Green Spirit 4 with Peter Direct needed to finish ahead of Popeye to win his second Euro Cup. And he did, but on the day he was not good enough to beat Fox. Then there was just one left to pull. Could Fox Jr. do enough to take 5th place overall? Drifting very wide but staying in bounds to pick up a valuable 6 points. And there you can see how close he was to out of bounds. But here was the final Euro Cup points table, and the team's aim of 2 tractors in the top 5 was fulfilled. But for the steering problems at the start of the season, it may well have been better. So third place to Fox and Fleming Smed, and then it was time to think about the European Championships in England. They were held at Great Eccleston, and the largest and most competitive class was undoubtedly the 3.4-ton modifieds. Both Fox and Fox Jr. qualified for the pull-off final, with Jr. the first to run. The track was definitely to their liking, and Fleming for a long period held the lead with a distance of 98.97. Although they've twice won the Euro Cup, the Larsen lads had never won a European title. And when Fox roared past the marker flag set by Junior, things were beginning to look good for the Danes. And their supporters' hopes also began to rise. 105.15 was the distance for Fox, really putting down the power on this run. And this is what it looked like on board. Yes, that was quite something. Then it was the turn of Johnny van Alphen with Q8 Team Popeye in his second European Championships. The Dutch champion piloted Popeye to a distance that was very, very close to Fox. 105.25, taking the title by just 10 centimetres. So Fleming was relegated to second and third places. So close and yet so far. The following day, Fox and Fox Jr. finished third and fifth in the 4.4-ton modifieds, bringing to an end a highly successful season. There had been plenty of highs and a few lows, and from the 28 events that they'd taken part in, they had notched up 18 first places, 21 second places, and 19 third places. And now they're looking forward to 1999.